First, we want to wish everybody a happy holidays and especially a Merry Christmas, because we will not be talking to fans across the country. And this is probably my favorite time of the year. I just love the bowls. I've already we have a way to TiVo or we get copies of the first 3 bowl games already, and I get to watch every one of them. And I watch every play, and to see Wyoming come back and last night Middle Tennessee come back, it's just a fun time of the year. And for people that question where their kids should be able to go to bowls with a 6-6 or 7-5 season, they just love it. So it's a lot of fun. And I also wanted to congratulate our ladies volleyball team. What a wonderful year they've had, and I've never seen a more competitive game than watching them play Penn State the other night. I sat there and watched every bit of it, and it's one of those games that nobody should have lost. We just ran out of time because the ladies sure played well, and both basketball teams are off to a great start. We're proud of this team. We told them thank you the other day to be sitting here at 13-0 and Big 12 champs. The seniors have been absolutely amazing. To have won 26 of their last 27 games is something that we just take for granted. I know in listening to the 30-game win streak that Coach Royal had back in the late 60s and 70s, these kids modern day have had a record kind of like that. I think we'd won 19 straight in 2005 before we played the national championship game, and they should get a lot of credit for what they've done. Recruiting, is we've been working as a team in practice, but we've also been recruiting hard since the Big 12 championship game, and recruiting's never been better. It's a good time now with a lot of young guys in the state wanting to come. And it just shows us that we can have strength for many years here if we'll continue to build on what we're able to do. And the fact that we've not been to Pasadena for 35 straight, or forever, 100 straight years in the last 6 now. This will be our 3rd trip to Pasadena, is really exciting. And again, that's a fun time to be a Longhorn. We started practice last Saturday briefly, and then we took off Sunday for recruiting. We took Monday off to have a work day to start working on game plans with Alabama. And then we practiced Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We took Friday off for recruiting and game planning, and then have come back and worked Saturday morning, Sunday morning, work this morning, and we'll work in the morning before we take a little break for Christmas. The guys are getting up and eating breakfast at 5:15. They're having their meetings. We go on the field about 7:50. They've worked till about 9:50, and we've gone back to 2-a-days. We haven't even talked a lot to them about Alabama at this point, because it was a month and 2 days from the Big 12 championship game till our ball game. So it's like starting over and having a one-game season. So you really just have to go back and work on fundamentals. But we've had very, very physical practices. They've all been ones against ones. They're knocking each other around. They're having fun. And we're really excited about watching them prepare for this game, because they're proud to be here. We will finish this segment of practices again tomorrow morning. We'll have a meeting with them and send them home for Christmas, and then they will come back the night of the 26th, and we'll talk about that in a few more minutes. Injury report: Calvin Howell will still not play. Mason Walters will still not play. So they are out of the game. Other than that, we've got a few guys with a tweak or a strain here and there, because we're working so hard and practicing in a very physical manner. But there's no one on the team that shouldn't be able to play and shouldn't be ready to practice 100% by the time we get to L.A. And John Childs and Jordan Shipley are back at 100%. John missed the last 2 games with his sprained ankle. We thought he could play against Nebraska, but when he got out there and tested it, he really couldn't. The academic status of our guys, there's still some grades coming in, but we feel like we're in good shape. And as of right now, it seems that all the guys should be ready to go out at the bowl game. So that's great news. Christian Scott is academically eligible, so he will play in the bowl game. He has been practicing with our team every day for the fall, and he's worked very hard. He will be involved in just about all the kicking teams, and at the same time, Dwayne Akina and Will Muschamp are looking to see if he could get involved some in scheme, because he's such a good player. So that's still to be determined, and he is not losing a year. He was redshirted, so this was a year that would have cost him eligibility anyway. So by playing in this game, he will still have 2 years left to play. Brandon Collins will not play in this game. Some people have asked, would Brandon play? because it's a national championship game, but it would cost him a full year of eligibility. And as important as this game is, we do not feel like it would be fair to put him out there for one game and he gets hurt, he doesn't get to play much, he drops the ball and we pull him out, and all of a sudden it's cost him a full year. So his situation is very different from Christian's, but he also will be in a position where he will have 2 years left as well. DJ Monroe had his charges dropped the other day or changed. I had a long meeting with him yesterday, and what I told him was that I didn't like what he did, but I do think he's paid the penalty. It's a severe penalty to have missed a curfew and be speeding and be cost 3 games of your college career, and at the same time one of those the A&M game and one of them a Big 12 championship game. And I want him to learn from it and be more accountable. But he has been practicing with our team every day, so he is not behind. He has not missed anything, and he's had a great attitude since his incident. So he will be reinstated, and if he practices well enough, we will play him in the game. We're not punishing him anymore. What we do with our discipline is we try to look at their body of work. We try to look at what gets their attention and our team's attention the most when somebody messes up. And at the same time, it doesn't have anything to do with how much it hurts the team. It's about the individual, and it's about the message to our team and who we are. Marcus Davis remains suspended. He is not practicing with the team. He will not travel with the team and will not be at the bowl game. And I will talk to Marcus after January 1 as far as his future. As far as the depth chart, we're working the guys so hard, and we're competing so hard right now, we will not have a depth chart until we get to L.A. And we feel like that is a message to our team. We weren't pleased in some instances on defense in the A&M game. We weren't pleased with some guys on offense in the Nebraska game. So we're going back and competing really, really hard and trying to figure out what mistakes we made in the last 2 games, because all phases need to play well in this game to give us a chance to win. But we will release a depth chart after we get out there. As we said, in the morning we will practice. They will go home for the 23rd, 24th, 25th, so they can have Christmas at home. They'll come back here for dinner the night of the 26th. We'll practice the 27th, the 28th, the 29th. They'll return home the afternoon of the 29th for the 30th and the 31st, and then they will all fly out to L.A. on the 1st. Our guys have all come out on their own. They do get their stipend that way. It's work for us. It's something they really want to do. And we've got easy access to airports throughout our state, so it's not a problem for them to get out there, and it's something we've done ever since I've coached. So and then after we get out there, we will have the normal 1 week of practice. Alabama's a great football team. Coach Saban's done an amazing job turning it around. They were 6-6 3 years ago, and now they've won 25 out of the last 27 and 13 in a row this year. They're a great team. They've had announced the other day with 6 AP All-Americans. They have a Heisman Trophy winner. 5 of their guys have already accepted to play in the Senior Bowl, which is a bowl that showcases the best pro prospects in the country. And they're very much like the 05 team. Defensively, their scheme's very much like ours. They're giving up 11 points. It'll be very interesting, and you have to know that Nick and Will are proud to have the number 1, the number 2 defenses in the country going into this ball game. It also shows you that defenses usually win championships, and that's why we're there. They also have a tremendous group of special teams guys. They've got a great kicker in Tiffin. Arenas is a guy that every time he touches the ball on special teams, he has a chance to score. They're the best at what they do in the country. And their offense is very powerful. They're very balanced. They're really good up front. Have the Heisman Trophy winner at tailback, and because of that, he's such a great runner. Trent Richardson is also a great runner, but they have a play-action pass off of everything that they run, so they're very balanced and do a tremendous job. Questions?
Coach?
Go ahead, Ed.
Thanks, Coach. When you look back, I know you're a coach's coach. Your dad's a coach, and you fond of Coach Roll. Have you stepped back and thought about this series and what it means to the people of Texas and Alabama with all the great games, the 65 games, the 73 games, 82 games with Coach Brown on one side and Coach Roll on the other side?